Daniel Villarreal, South by Southwest, Queerty.com. I'm speaking with Geoff Marslett. He's the director of Mars, an animated feature about an exploration to Mars that involves some robot-on-robot action and some interplanetary love. I'm curious, Geoff.
Yeah.
Why did you choose an exploration to Mars, like, as a story? What interested you?
I mean, before I wrote the script, I knew I wanted to tell a romance. We were talking some earlier, and I mentioned I didn't want to tell a specific romance. I wanted this whole film in form, in content, to be about romance, my take on romance. And for me, any falling in love, any romance is an exploration. So I wanted to reflect that in the entirety of it. So I created this situation where you have a romance between Earth and Mars. You have a romance between the characters going there. And that you sort of see how everything in this world is this adventure where you meet someone new and you're like, I'm talking to this interview. I'm going to get to know you in some way. And that getting to know you is going to change me, and I'm going to change you. But people rush into that. And when they're falling in love, they rush into that just, even more head over heels. People don't worry about what's there. They just go into it. And I wanted to take exploration and bring it back to that kind of metaphor and that kind of attitude, because you see movies about exploration, it's always about going to a new place and getting out your guns and killing everyone there, and I would wager to say it could be part of romance too, in a bad way, that's out there. I wanted that. I wanted this world where everything is sort of free to do that to one another.
Well, does your movie have any unconventional love in it? I heard robots.
Robots. I think robots in love is unconventional. Just
how do robots fall in love? Is there like changing of code, binary code?
Spoiler alert for people watching this. But there's a character. There's the character of the robot. It's based on a real robot that the ESA sent to Mars back in, I think, 2003. I just looked for life, and as soon as it landed, it was lost. I always kind of thought, this is so sad. This little robot is on this adventure. All mankind takes it and puts this thing together and shoots it out millions of miles away, and then it doesn't work, and nobody goes back for it. So I had this idea, and I was like, when you send another robot, what happens? What one of these rovers just says, "Fuck this mission.
Right.
I'm going to go save the robot." Right. That's like me. That's like me out there.
So I guess I'm wondering, like, if you see this sort of robot as like androgen, or if you see it as kind of like just the ultimate like trans person, or any sort of outcast or someone outside of the human.
Yeah, I did want to play with, even in how we created the visuals. I think, to be honest, all the characters in my movie, from a viewer in the audience, are going to have some little element of other, and I wanted that to occur. And in doing so, I wanted the characters to look almost real, very approachable, but I wanted to alter them so they still weren't quite like you, which is kind of the idea behind the animation.
Right.
Because my take on other is that, yes, robots can be the other, yes, someone can be an other because they're black or white, or, you're gay, you're different, you're not, But the real funny thing is, everybody's the other. Any other person you meet is the other, and really, almost any other person you meet could be just as much the other as any other one, and I almost feel that about, like, with these robots. So I did want to get rid of this idea that there were almost these factions, that there's nothing about, like, this one group of people is somehow learning to relate to this group of people. Despite all the stuff that happens in the world, that's really how people are relating to one another. And there's a lot of conventions that get in the way of doing that, and I think people sort of artificially throw those up there. It's why I think you run into so many people that are like, well, I don't really like this kind of person, except this one I specifically know.
Right.
Well, it's because that's the only way you know anybody.
Right.
And you're going to meet some of those people that are like that, and you're going to hate them. And you're going to meet some, and you're going to love them.
Right.
That's interaction.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you for your time,
Geoff.
Geoff.
You. Thanks for taking an interest in it.
Absolutely. Geoff Marslett, Daniel Villarreal, South by Southwest, Queerty.com. Daniel's son, Crane Kick. Mars is the only animated feature that we're seeing at South by Southwest and covering in our Queerty coverage. However, I'd encourage you to read the article we're going to write about it. There'll be lots of interesting issues, and to stay with us for the rest of the coverage throughout the film festival. Thanks a lot.